Hi everybody, I wanted to show you a way of lighting the Lego cargo train 60052 without making any visible modifications to the outside of the locomotive. There's a few videos out there on how to light this thing, but they all make modifications to the appearance of the outside of the locomotive. So I came up with a way to add lights without changing the locomotive visibly from the outside as it sits here. So here's what I did, and here's what you'll need. First, you'll need the light kit that has the little two LED lights on the end. You'll need, this is optional here, is a 1x2 plate. You'll need two 1x1 bricks. And you'll need two 1x1 Technic bricks with a hole in the center. You can also use a 1x2 Technic brick with two holes in the center that looks like this. But I didn't have one, so I'm using these. I'm going to at some point get these in black, and you'll see why when I'm finished. Alright, so we gotta start by taking this thing apart. Taking the sides off, taking the roof off. I reworked the roof of mine a little bit, so that's why it looks a little different. I also added this little piece here. All right, so what we got to do is we have to disassemble this. Take the cab off, take the front off. Okay. I'm going to take our engineer out. We're going to have to remove him from the seat, and I'll show you why. Taking our rear cab off. All right, we got to lift the battery box out. All right, and what I like to do is I like to keep the lights working on the separate channel from the motor. All right, so I usually run my motor on blue. So I'm plugging it into the red channel on the Power Functions receiver, and we're going to run our cable under the battery box. All right, so we got that in. We can put our battery box back in. Nice and snug. All right, now I'm going to put this under here. This light has a little 2x4 kind of brick here, so we're going to put that there. We're going to put the base for our engineer, our train driver, whatever you want to call him, back in here. If I can get it to stay in the place that I want it. There we go. All right, and we're putting everything back together now. The rear of the cab. I got a couple little extra pieces in here I'm taking out that I'm putting in. Never mind this part. Okay, so we're gonna reassemble the rear of the locomotive again because we are done. Let's see, is that all the way down there? We're done modifying the back end, which was just adding the light. And I'll wait to put the roof back on. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to coil these cables up here in the front of the engine. So in a way that I do this to make it nice and neat is I wrap the cables around my index finger about 3 times. And that gives us a nice, neat little coil of wire to stick in there. Then we can stick our hood back on. All right, so we've got the hood back on. Now, this is where one of the modifications comes in. You have to take off this 1x4 brick and put your 1x1 bricks in here. So that makes a little opening for the cables to come through back into the cab. And then we'll stick that back on. Another thing we need to do is remove the little control panel tile. We're going to remove this tile, and I'm going to stick it back here so I don't lose it. I'm just going to keep it there so it has a little place to live. All right, now I'm taking my two 1x1 Technic bricks with the hole in the middle, or if you have a 1x2 Technic brick with the hole in the middle, I'm going to put a plate on the bottom. This is optional. This is only to raise it up by a plate so that it projects out the front more. Okay, so that's in. Now, so I just put that in right behind the front windows. Now the reason I'm going to want to use these, I'm going to change these out to black, is because I don't want them to be as visible from the front when I put this all back together. All right, now we're going to take our lights and put them into the Technic bricks. Now I'm putting these in so that the wires go out to the outside. That way we can still get our minifig into the locomotive. Just like that. So you can see what that looks like. It's pretty simple. All right, now we're going to put our minifig in. Just like that. Put our doors on. And put our roof on. All right, so now we have the lights inside the cab. So they partially illuminate the cab, and the reason that I want to use the black Technic pieces is so you really won't see them from the outside like you can now. They'll kind of blend into the background. We can still get our train driver, engineer, whatever you want to call him, in there. It's kind of a tight squeeze, but he can still do his job. All right, now we're going to turn it on. So I have the blue channel for my wheels, and I have the red channel for my lights. I usually operate the lights on the lowest level so they don't pull as much battery power, and that's why I wanted to keep the lights on a separate channel from the motor. All right, and like I said, I added this little piece here because I just wanted a little more of the yellow, dark yellow color on the locomotive. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's a real quick and easy way to add lights to this thing, and I hope you liked my video. All right, bye.